It's a Tuesday, you're welcome. Hey, your calendar reminder here. UFD Tech Hot News, that's what's going on. I'm Brett, and I'm gonna lead you through some of the leading tech stories of the day. That's what you get here at Hot News. You're welcome. So, let's jump on into the first article, okay? Because somebody leaked the i9 10900K benchmarks a day before they're supposed to come out. I'm pretty sure the embargo is tomorrow. I only have a chip. I can't verify any of these claims that are coming in today. I just have a 10900K lying around. No Z490 for your boy. Anyways, the leak is coming out of a website in China known as Bilibili, and it's coming from Tech Lab, where the dude wore a husky mask in order to protect his identity to make sure that we have no idea who it is. So the big news is that the 10900K is fast. Oh, you have your precious 3950X? Get rid of it. I don't like that. I didn't verify if the processor was in there or not. Hopefully it's not. However, the speed of the 10900K comes at a few costs. Number one, power consumption and temperatures are high. They're recommending a 360 mil AIO at the very least for minimum heat dissipation standards. Gaming, phenomenal on this thing, and daily operations, very fast. It's over 5 gigahertz in normal operations with all of that. The overclock performance wasn't tested in this. It's going to come out in a later video by them, but obviously as of tomorrow when the embargo lifts, I'm sure we'll have plenty of more information. This is just coming out a day ahead of time. However, let's get into the benchmarks because there's something a little weird about the performance that's going on here. Number one, it's not surprising that the 10900K is beating the 3900X and the 3950X in gaming. That's makes sense. It's by like 3 or 4 FPS, which isn't a heckin' lot, but it is enough to justify it. I have a couple of concerns with how the benchmarks were done. Number one, they were tested at 1440p, which isn't the greatest way to show CPU bottlenecks, but at the same time, it's also more of a gaming standard at this time, so like I can kind of excuse that one. My real complaint comes from the memory speed that they were using here. So they used the G.Skill Trident Z Royals. On the Intel platform, they were using 4000 megahertz, which is totally fine. However, Zen 2 has this weird thing where when you go above 37, 33 megahertz, you increase the latency of the CPU, thereby it might perform worse in gaming. Well, they tested it at 3800 megahertz, which increases the latency because it's above the threshold that Ryzen 3000 has for the most efficient memory timings. So it's that like weird little, like they pushed it just beyond where it starts getting worse than it otherwise would be in a gaming scenario. And I just like, why not go up to 4000 at that point? Why are you making it differentiated and why are you doing it at a point where it's not exactly right? And then we do see like a few oddities in the AMD benchmarks, such as the fact that in Puget Bench, which is for Photoshop and After Effects, their 3900X and 3950X scores aren't even what Puget Systems says that those chips should be hitting. So it's a toss-up whether or not it's super accurate. Maybe the 10900K is pretty good. I don't necessarily expect that these are super fudged, but I take them with a grain of salt, that's for sure. And basically what you come out of this is the 10900K is going to cost you between $500 and $600. And a $420 chip gets you most of the way there, and a $750 chip, well, you know, if you need 16 cores, that's basically like the 10900K does serve to be a good performance bridge gap between the 3900X and 3950X, but at the cost of cores for clock speed. Very few people are actually going to end up picking this chip up. Big nose, the power consumption at a full rendering load, the 10900K system drew 337 watts from the wall, whereas the 3950X did 306. And the 3900X came in at 260. So a 70 watt difference between the 10900K for 2 fewer cores. The 14 nanometers obviously continuing to show its age. Intel can milk 14 nanometers like nobody's business. So those are the benchmarks. 10900K, it's in a weird place. Intel's in a weird place. Going through a bit of puberty when it comes to like nanometer transitions. They got rid of their CEO, like, you're not my real dad. They're going through a lot of like growth spurt type stuff. So give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll wait for more official benchmarks tomorrow where you have the likes of basically everybody coming out with the reviews except for us because, you know, chip.
It looks nice.
I could put it in a Z390, see if it works. I don't know. That's not the only little bit of Intel stuff coming out. There is a leaked benchmark of Intel's upcoming Jasper Lake, which is supposed to be on embedded solutions in the low-end segment. In case you care, we'll leave a link down below. I personally don't care. And then Biostar has officially announced their B460 series motherboards, which, as far as I'm aware, no other manufacturer has announced B460, but Biostar, their racing motherboards, now a thing. And what's also a thing is Adobe Premiere is catching up to freaking where they've, like, Final Cut has been here forever, other editing application. Anyways, the whole point, Adobe Premiere Pro is getting GPU acceleration, finally. On NVIDIA cards, it's gonna use NVENC, and then the press release originally came out, they made no mention of AMD cards, but they updated to say, hey, AMD cards will have hardware acceleration for them too. So HEVC codecs, H.264 and H.265 will now be hardware accelerated on the NVENC encoder on NVIDIA GPUs, and they will also work on AMD GPUs, but with less specificity. And then when I checked Adobe's website to see what the recommended GPUs were, they did not include Navi cards at all. But staying on the NVIDIA train for a while, NVIDIA has their GeForce Now program, which allows you to stream games over the internet. Well, they accidentally gave you access to now being able to do that on Chromebooks. Yes, my friends, you can now play GeForce Now on Chromebooks basically as an accident because the Android app runs on ARM, so therefore the Chromebook app works. That's how it's generally working. NVIDIA is coming out with official Chromebook support eventually, but it's more just like a, Bob Ross happy accident type thing. But you might have bought a game by accident, or by accident you just didn't enjoy it. Well, now Epic Game Store is finally having an automatic refund feature where if you purchase a game within 14 days, you can return it as long as you played under 2 hours, and you can automatically do it now. You don't have to go through their stupid customer support with the non-automation type stuff. Epic Games continuing to get better by the day. The game stores they're crushing it lately. I gotta give that to them. And Huawei's got to give SMIC some stuff, because SMIC has now said that they're starting to produce 14nm FinFET SoCs for Huawei, which is going to be more of their lower end stuff, because Huawei's already on 7nm. They're using TSMC, but obviously there's been this whole United States government versus TSMC against Huawei. So Huawei's been pulling out, and the Chinese government's trying to get all that together. Anyways, SMIC beginning mass production, and the Chinese government beginning mass cash infusion into SMIC, saying that they're going to pump $2.2 billion into SMIC in order to move into that fabrication facility. This is also probably related to the fact that TSMC just announced that they're going to be building a fabrication facility in Arizona. So, the Chinese government having a little tiff with the Taiwanese company for supporting America. Politics, man. Politics. Which, games don't have any politics. There's not a political game that exists. No. Thankfully, Steam and Valve are going to make games even less political, because they're now opening up mods to Half-Life Alyx. You can't interject politics into video games. So mods will remove any sentiment of politics. Steam Workshop now available for Half-Life Alyx officially. And officially not official, the Pixel 4 can now support 4K 60 FPS video capture, which, that iPhone has had forever, and you would figure Google's flagship could do it. Well, now the Filmic Pro app allows the Google Pixel 4 to get 4K 60 FPS, which, why is that not a launch feature? But a launch feature that came with the Pixel 4 that Google hyped up, but also wasn't available in every region, was their time of flight sensor through Soli. Well, they apparently, according to the latest rumors, are going to be dropping that for the Pixel 5 in order to cut costs, which makes a lot of sense. We've already talked about the fact that 2 of the leads on the Pixel design team have left the team because of the fact that Google is like, what the hell is this? What did you make? We don't like this. And yeah, so getting rid of that sensor, which nobody uses, would make a whole lot of sense, because it's not available in hardly any country anyways. And what's not available for Uber are jobs. Unfortunately, they are announcing another round of layoffs, 3,000 more people getting laid off. This is in addition to a couple of weeks ago, they laid off 3,700 people. So they are just cutting their workforce. That's a quarter of their entire workforce, and they're reconfiguring things such as its experimental non-core activities. Uber just bleeding people, unfortunately. It's sad. But let's talk about the future Uber competitor, which is Tesla's robo-taxi, because Elon Musk announced on Twitter yesterday that the cost of the full self-driving package for Tesla vehicles will be going up by $1,000 in July. This is because they obviously recently added a feature where it can now react to stoplights and stop signs, which it basically seems like every time they release a new major feature, they raise the price. Elon Musk saying that he thinks that the total value of the package by itself is going to be in the neighborhood of $100,000. So buying it for what will be $8,000 in July will be pennies compared to what it's actually worth. Which, I mean, honestly, if I could buy a Tesla and then I get the full self-driving package and then they roll out a robo-taxi feature where I could just have it go make money for me while I'm at work, while I'm filming hot news, genius. Bruh, that, I mean, if I could earn over $100,000 a year by doing nothing, I believe Elon. And you best believe that Minecraft is the most popular game of all time because they just revealed their latest numbers. 200 million total sales. Second place for games sold, GTA 5 with 120 million. But Minecraft gets even more impressive with them revealing that their monthly active users are 126 million people. They have more active users than any other game ever sold. Crazy. Minecraft going crazy. Also, Sony came out with some numbers saying that PS Plus now has 41.5 million subscribers, and PSNow, surprisingly, has 2.2 million subscribers, doubling in just about a year. End of March 2019, they had about 1 million. Now they're at 2.2. All the power to you, Sony. Good job. And Dark Souls, Bandai Namco coming out with the Dark Souls numbers. Dark Souls as a series has sold 27 million units, with Dark Souls 3 selling 10 of those 27. But a little bit more game news, or actually not game news. Nintendo is not planning any directs anytime soon, so don't expect more game announcements from Nintendo. They're done. They're cashed out. They're over it. And I'm over TikTok, even though I never joined the app, but maybe I should. Maybe, I don't know. Should we join TikTok? Answer down below in the comments. Well, who did join TikTok is Disney's former streaming leader. The guy behind Disney Plus is now the TikTok CEO. Going to take it to new heights. TikTok previously announcing that they have 1 billion downloads, which is just mind-boggling numbers. Yeah, they're going to just try to keep that growth going, continue the app growing, and continue to send all of our data to foreign governments, which, I mean, I prefer the US government have my data. I can trust them. I know I can. What's the adage? One bird in the hand's worth two in the bush.
Is that applicable?
Yeah, like the enemy that you know is better than the enemy you don't type deal.
That's not what that phrase means.
I don't know. What's the proper metaphor here? Well, I can tell you that there's a metaphor for what the hell are you doing, Hulu? I don't know what it is, but that's my statement right now. Hulu is getting sued because they've been intentionally throttling PC streaming. In order to get people to move to their app and their TV app, they've been making it so that the resolution and bitrate on PC streams are worse.
What?
Yeah, this is alleged, obviously, but there's a lawsuit going against Hulu now because they've been pulling the worst bull crap ever. This is stupid. I hate that. Me no like, not happy with that. And I'm not happy to continue this episode of Hot News any longer because, I mean, it's a Tuesday. You don't need more time than what I've given you on a Tuesday. That would be appalling. And I'm appalled at myself. So I'm going to go cry in shame. Goodbye.